Right, as you can see, I've bought a top box to supplement my SHAD SH48 panniers, and I'm going to tell you today what's influenced my buying choices, and also give you a bit of a review as to what I think of the top box at the moment, and also provide you with some tips on installation, although installation is very easy. Let's have a look at it. I've bought the SH48 SHAD version. I chose SHAD because I already had the SHAD panniers and I wanted them to look like a set. And there's various buying options from SHAD, and you can easily go in and choose a number of different variations. But I bought mine from bikeluggage.co.uk. They were extremely helpful. It arrived very quickly, and I'm quite pleased with it. So one of the things I did buy is I bought the special version, which comes with this titanium plate here, which matches these panniers, and also accentuates the silver that's on the bike. So I think it looks good. But let me just show you around it, and you can have a look from all angles. It's nothing particularly flash, but it's quite a smart looking box as top boxes go. And as you can see, I think it suits the bike really well. So first of all, let's have a look at the top box itself, because there's a few things that I like and a few things I dislike about it, and I'll go through them with you. Right, so one of the things which I do like is the looks. I think it looks really good. So that's a real good thing. One of the other things I like about it, is the fact that I can get 2 full-faced helmets within there, so that's really good. I've proved you can do that, and also there's plenty of room even for my intercom and the various other bits and pieces that you need on your helmet. So that's really good. There's plenty of room in there, and it does fit. One of the other things which I like, because I'm not a particular fan of laying helmets down on their side, but one of the other things which I do like about this is if it's just a single helmet, it can sit up in the top box, and this closes really easily. There's plenty of room, so it's quite deep, and you've got lots of storage space in there, so that's really good. So one of the one of the features which I don't like about it is the locking mechanism, and I just want to explain this in a little bit more depth, because it might influence your choice. With the key, you have 3 positions. You have a closed position, which what that does is secures this button, so you can't press that, and therefore you can't release the handle, therefore you can't gain access into the top box. The open one, you can guess what that does. That releases this button, which allows you to push that. This handle pops up, and if you place your hand in this flap, there's a lever under here which you can pull, and it allows the top box to lift up. One of the things which you'll be able to see here is all this is a lever. It's a swing lever, and it undoes this locking mechanism here, and it just pulls that back, and I think that's going to be okay. I've got no real problem with that. One of the issues that I do have is a bit lower down here. So to mount the top box and take it off, you have to take the key to the release button, and you pull this flap down. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that properly in the dark, but you can see that flap pulls down. What that then allows you to do is to lift the top box up, and then you can remove it. And what it's doing, you probably won't be able to see here, but it's moving this little locking mechanism here back and forth. When you come to mount it, there's 2 slots here, typical top box. If you're used to these things, you can come down. You can force this, yeah, and you can see it's quite hard. So in effect, to mount it, you have to have it in the release position, pull this lever back, set it down, and then you can come back up, and then you can move it to the open position. Right, that you might think is not too much of a problem, but you need 2 hands. And also with weight in the box, being able to get this top box off and on could be quite difficult. With the Givey ones, I seem to recall you slotted them in, you pushed them down, and that was like an automatic push fit to lock into that. This you can't do that. You have to release it, pull it back, lift it up, push it down here, and with a lot of weight in there, I think that could be a potential problem. The other thing that I've had difficulty with is when I bought the panniers, I was provided with a third key barrel, so that you could have one key on all locks, and I thought that was really, really good. So I already had that barrel, and I thought I'll come to change it. Now I've run into some issues with this. So to change that barrel, you have to remove these 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, and what that then does is once those out, it releases the all of this plate here with all the locks in. Okay, now the way that SHAD asks you to do that is to place something into the slots here, and you lever this back until it slots out. I tried to do that. It was extremely tight. I did all the screws out. It was extremely tight. I couldn't do it, and I felt like it was going to break. So I thought, quit while I'm ahead, and I'll change that at a later date. It got to the point where I was applying so much pressure, I actually dented the plastic here a little bit. So yes, it's obviously possible to change the barrels, but on my first attempt and second attempt, that was in so tight, I've been unable to get it out. So I'd have to do a bit more research on the best technique to get that out, to change the locks. So that's for another day. Other than that, it's probably worth just to talk about the installation a little bit. Right, installation of the fixing kit for the SHAD Top Box is a relatively straightforward affair, but it's probably worth trying to understand first of all what's involved in the fitting kit. So what you get with the fitting kit is this arm that comes up here, one for each side, and that's it. It's £96 for this arm here that runs down there to enable the mounting plate to fit. The mounting plate incidentally comes with the top box. Yeah, so I don't know if it's top box specific, I wouldn't have thought so, but when you buy the top box you get the mounting plate. So just be aware of that, because if you were thinking you could buy the fitting kit and in effect have a back rack, that's not going to be the case. You get into these arms. So to fit the arms, you have to release these 4 bolts here by the grab rails, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you can lift these rails up and slide the brackets which fit on here under there. Now the brackets are part of the arm, so it's one piece that just fits in there. Refit fit these 4 screws or bolts, sorry, and then that's good. The instructions told me to remove the seat. I didn't feel I needed to do that, and I didn't do that. But if you do, there's a little split pin there which you can remove. Bear in mind there's a spring below that, and then this comes out and it allows you to take the seat off. Okay, so a really, really straightforward thing to get the arms on. If you've already got the 3-point mounting system for the panniers, the arms themselves come with holes in this bracket, which allow you to mount the 3-point mounting system arms to that through these bolts here. If you don't have that, you're going to have holes in those brackets, so just be aware of that. It could be unsightly, a matter of choice. But for me, I had to take the original brackets off, which were separate pieces, and fit these to the top box rails here, these arms, and tighten all that up. When I did that, just bear in mind, when you first fit it, keep everything loose, and then tighten it up once it's all assembled. To fit the actual mounting plate itself is a straightforward thing. It comes with this plastic cover on top, and there's 4 screws which I've removed. And let me see if I can get that out. This mounting plate is quite tight, and I'll just explain in a second. Right, okay, so the mounting plate's out, and all you do is you fix the mounting plate to the arms using these 4 bolts that come here. Okay, the bolts in there I tightened up to 30 Newton meters. These ones I just did till I was reasonably comfortable, they were tight, and then it's just a case of fixing this plastic sort of vanity cover to there. There's 2 little slots that sit here, and you've got these 4 rubber bungs. So what you have to do is get this over the bungs and into the slots, which can be a little bit fiddly. The way I did that was to do it as an angle, slot them over the first 2 first, yeah, and bend the plate a little bit, slot it in, so you just put a little bit of pressure into the centre, and then you can come down, and then it's just a case of fixing the 4 screws back in here, and then that's it mounted. So really simple thing, well within the reach of most people if you can use a spanner and a screwdriver. Okay, so nothing particularly challenging there. Right, what I'd like to talk to you now about is why this so-called top box was named as special. It was special because it comes with these backrest pads and the silver sort of panel around the outside. These backrest pads are a really good match pattern wise to the seat, and that's a really nice touch. So it looks like they were made for it. They weren't obviously, but they're a very close match. But what you have to do is when you buy this is you have to fit these yourself. So it was quite a daunting thing. I've got a brand new top box and I've got to start drilling holes in it, but it's nowhere near as bad as you may first think. So firstly, you end up with 2 pads, and they're shaped around the hinges, so you know which way they go. Yeah. When you get to, SHAD have done quite a good job of this. When you come to know where to drill your holes, SHAD have provided you with 2 little tiny holes here. They don't go all the way through. They're just little like pilot markers to allow you where to drill your holes, so that you know you get them in the right place. What you then do is on the back of the pad, there's a little tiny clip that slides in with a thread on, and then you just using the screws provided and these little plastic sort of washer things. You screw them in and mount it in. It's a really simple thing. So don't get scared off by the fact that you've got to drill some holes. SHAD have marked them out really well for you. It's a simple case of just drilling through and assembling the little fixing clips and screwing it together. And I think they look good. So that's it. So before I get on to costs, I just want to talk about some of the other alternative buying options that SHAD have provided. Right, so one of the things they do now is they've got quite an innovative top box out at the moment that is expandable. I believe it's the SH48X and the SH59X. But go on to bike.luggage.co.uk and have a look yourself. There's some lovely little videos on there. But what that top box does is it stays quite thin, and then by releasing some fixings in the inside, it concertinas out. It able to slide out to 3 different positions to get to quite a big box. Yeah, it's quite a big box, obviously taking 58 litres and 59 litres depending upon what version. And then when it's not in use, it comes down and it's quite thin. Now I originally thought, I quite like the idea of that, and that's one of the things I was going to buy, but on reflection I decided that there was too many moving parts and I wanted something a bit more traditional, and my vanity wanted it to match with the existing panniers, so I went and bought this one instead, and I'm quite pleased with it, so that's no problem at all with that. But if you don't quite like the look of this one, there are others out there, and that one got my interest, and we'll have to see what the reviews are. So lastly, let me talk about the costs, because all this stuff has added up. So I bought the panniers first and the fitting kit there. The panniers were £335 and the fixing kit was £147. Yeah. The top box, this particular top box in the special version with the pads in the silver panel on here, or titanium panel if you want to be correct, was £203. And remember, with the top box you get the mounting plate. The fixing kit, which just involves these arms here, which allow you to fix obviously the arms to the seats there, that was £96. That brings it to a whopping £781. Okay, now that's a lot of money, a lot of money to me, but when you compare it with the Honda OEM equipment, The equivalent panniers and the top box and all the fitting kits that go with that total up to $1,853 at today's prices. So it's still quite a significantly, the SHAD system is quite a significant amount cheaper than the Honda version, but there's obviously other makes out there. So I just thought I'd share with that might help you make some decisions as to whether you want a top box or you want some panniers or a full system. Right, so what's next for me? I've got some trips planned. I've got a camping trip, which this additional luggage is going to come in handy. Can't say I'm particularly looking forward to camping, but that's what we're doing. And then I've got a trip up from Land's End to John O'Groats, but that's going to be bed and breakfast, so I probably won't need all of this luggage. We'll see. And what I'm also got is another little trip around Yorkshire, again, because I really liked it up there last time I was up there. So in terms of what I'm going to do next is I'm going to do some fuel economy tests. And the reason I want to do them is I want to see what effect all of this luggage has on the fuel economy, particularly if you haven't got a pillion here. So I think it's going to create some drag, but I don't know. So I'm going to go and do those tests, and I'll hopefully share them with you once they're complete. Anyway, with a bit of luck, you found something interesting there, and watch the space for further videos. Speak to you later.